just have bins of stuff in the garage so that we can grab all our emergency supplies and spare gasoline and run for the hills and be survivalists. Yeah, this is the way I was raised. So it was obviously very productive of a rewarding and fulfilling, well-prepared future, I can tell you. These people, they want to believe that the world is ending because they don't like the world that they're in. Very often, they talk about what a disgusting environment this is and how life is this unending torture that will only be relieved once they get to heaven. And then they want this prophecy to be a self-fulfilling prophecy in that they want to bring about the end of the world however they can. During the Harold Camping thing, we had people that were going to such extremes to commit themselves to the belief that they would sell off all their personal belongings. And in some cases, people were even committing suicide in order to be part of that rapture. Even if they were somehow not raptured the normal way, they would kill themselves to be raptured. One woman even went so far as to slit the throats of her own daughters and then her own throat in an attempt to be raptured up along with everybody else. And these people have to do something totally outrageous to totally commit themselves to the belief, because in many cases, Jack, I know you're going to say that there's a lot of people who don't do this, and maybe there are exceptions, but the people that I encounter often do express that they have to believe with full conviction in order to make it true. So they have to sell off everything, and they have to kill off their own children, and they have to do all these impossibly ridiculous things to commit to the belief to make that belief become reality. And I saw the most beautiful picture the day of that happening on the news. So there was the one guy that spent $140,000 of his retirement and his life savings, and here he is standing in Times Square, just like it was the New Year's Day, and he's looking at his watch very worriedly, standing amongst a crowd of people who are laughing in hysterics. I love that picture. Because it doesn't matter how convinced you are. You can't change reality. Reality is what it is, whether you believe it or not. And that, I think, is a failure of faith.
And this is exactly what I was saying, Jack. This is the difference between the predictions of religion, is they make people do stupid things, and the predictions of science, which, put people on the moon, digital wristwatches, and so on. Well, really, come on, Jack, impress me. Where are the benefits of the predictions of religion? Where are they, Jack?
You speak so highly of science. It's entertaining because, of course, it was science that gave us the atomic bomb, and it's science that gives us the sort of weapons that we have in which we engage in warfare.
Wait. Are you going to tell me that science leads only to bad things? Are you going to give us that speech?
Jack, are you really suggesting that the world is better off now than it was 100 years ago because of science?
I mean, you speak so highly of religion, but let's not forget that science flies you to the moon and religion flies you into buildings.
You want me to respond? It's
I really wish you would.
Interrupting me.
Yeah, well, do respond, Jack, and please let him finish what he's got to say.
Thunderfoot, you spoke of all the glories of science, which I will fully agree with you, and I'm a Christian. I have no problem with agreeing with you that science gives us amazing things. Science gives us amazing things. Science also has given us things of which can create complete devastation and destroy human life in an instant. So so you painted one picture of science that was sort of devoid of the reality that science is in the hands of an individual who desires power and influence and dominion, can use it in whatever way they decide, whether it's for the good of humanity or whether it's for the destruction of humanity. And I'm sure you would agree that is the case. With religion, the same can be said. In the hands of someone who desires dominion and power over humanity, it can be used as either a tool to encourage and develop it and create peace and security by which knowledge can flourish, or it can be used as a means to destroy whole pockets of people.
Right, Jack. Aaron, let me have a little back and forth here with Jack. Jack, unmute your mic. I want to have a little back and forth here. Now, when you first started on this point, you laughed at me for saying, well, science has brought us nuclear weapons. That's what science gives you. And then later on you say, well, yeah, but science is great and I have no problem with it. Now, which is it, Jack? Is science a good thing or a bad thing? Is society better off now for science or worse off now?
Two questions there. Okay, the first question, is science a good thing or bad thing? It's not the science that determines the good or bad. It's the hands of whom is working with it. Okay? It's how it gets used.
You're wrong.
It's not right? The science in and of
Thunder,
itself.
Please, let him answer.
So us acquiring knowledge of how something works is not a bad thing. It's in many ways, it's how the individual wants to use it. Basically, how they want to use that knowledge. And they can use that knowledge in a way to create weapons, or they can use that knowledge to create cures. And as a civilization, we have seen us as humans do both.
Right. But ultimately, it is an amplifier on the ability of mankind. And that has been a boon to civilization. That has demonstrably increased our standard of living. Right? Do you contest that?
One of many elements that have given us, in other words, simply having technology doesn't make a good civilization. Wouldn't you agree?
By observation, it has, though.
No, my question is, though, simply having a cell phone and a computer doesn't make a better civilization. Would you agree?
No, I think it does make it better.
I would agree, too. Instant worldwide communication is a benefit to society.
Okay,
I mean,
that's assuming.
If I want to talk to my parents, I just call them up on a phone. Otherwise, it would be months of travel.
Right.
Of course,
any
it makes
addition of assets automatically makes it better. Yes.
We have, because you can call your grandmother Thunderfoot. Civilization's better now. We're better off because I can talk with my grandmother in Texas. So we're a better civilization.
So are you suggesting that we are better off without these assets?
Isn't it like technology can go help with information flow?
No. Let me explain what the actual situation is. Right? We're a communal species, right? And the reason that we are a communal species is because there is actually a selective advantage from working in groups over functioning as individuals, right? That's inherent to the species. It's inherent to any social species. It's a requirement. Otherwise, the species would be outcompeted by individuals, by competing individuals, right? So it's a tautological that we work together, right? You then bring technology into the picture. Technology is an amplifier for that vector, right? So the fact that we work well together is amplified by technology, right? Which is why technology is a win. Yeah, it can be used for good or bad things, but I mean, this is the thing. If you are going to be tortured and killed, no one will ever do it as sadistically as another human, right? And likewise, if you're injured and suffering, no one will be a bigger help to you as another human, right? But you just take those behaviors as opposite polar ends of the spectrum. On average, more likely you will be helped by a fellow individual than killed by them, right? That is the social vector that favors communal interactions. Technology is the amplifier on that vector, right? Which is why you say, why bringing up things, well, there are being nukes. Well, that doesn't actually really matter. What technology is doing, it is amplifying the benefit that we get from being a social species, right? And this is why when you scoff at technology, I think that you just don't have a real comprehension of what the situation is. Please come back.
Yeah, no, you were talking about...
Let me be clear that I'm not scoffing at technology. As I already stated, you oftentimes tend to make you present sort of this dichotomy that, oh, here you are, Thunderfoot, you are for science, and then here's the Christian religious person, and they're not. That's complete false dichotomy. Okay, I love science, I enjoy science, I believe it is of great benefit to human civilization, and certainly has the potential to be of great benefit to human civilization.
I just want to hold your feet to the fire there, Jack.
Go ahead, do it.
That's not what you said. When you first came on, you laughed at me. You said,
I laughed at
you worship technology. Technology is for nuclear weapons.
No, let me clarify. What I laughed at was how you painted science and technology in all the positive ways, but didn't mention one negative aspect. That was what I was laughing at. So you want to go back and watch the recording of the show, you will see I wasn't laughing at science. I was laughing at the fact that you wanted to present it as just this great, beautiful thing.
Okay, great. We seem to have reached a point of consensus. Now, I think we've actually reached a point of consensus here. So, having actually agreed that science and technology is a good thing, right? The thing about science and technology is it delivers the goods. The thing about beliefs in religions is they don't. Right? This is what distinguishes good models from bad ones. Right? This is why 300 years of scientific advances have taken us from banging rocks together to landing on the moon, whereas 2,000 years of religion have brought no tangible benefits to society. Please, Max.
If I could jump in here, I mean, okay, so
Not really true.
You said that science can be misused, just like a shovel can be misused for good or for ill. Practically anything can. Now, we know that religion can be used for ill. We have inexhaustible supplies of lists of information of how religion can be used for ill. But then you said something about having the knowledge flow. Well, can you give me a demonstration of anything that your religion actually knows? Not just believes, but actually knows. Where has been the addition to the sum of human understanding? Where was the improvement to our lifestyle? How was religion put to good use?
Question, Aaron Ra. I'm glad you raised it. Religion has been put to good use in various ways, one of which is, of course, literature and the spreading and the significance of learning how to read. Another one is in musical notation, which a friend of mine, DOS American Atheist, in a video he's done on YouTube, clearly points out how Christianity is largely the benefit of music as we know it now is because of the significance of music as it related to religion, to Christianity, along with literature. That is the significance of writing that was first and primarily focused on in the monasteries, among the monks and the priests, but then later on, over time, diverged out to the people. So their religion.
Well, one second. Don't forget, we have a caller here. So back to the caller first.
Goodbye.
Oh, you off? Okay, thank you.
So I just want to make a point that it's not just, hey, there's the Christian trying to make religion sound like it's really, no. Okay, my friend James, DOS American Atheist, along with other atheists on YouTube, you guys are sort of, you're much more the sort of anti-theistic notion of atheism. There are more balanced atheists on YouTube who present very strong cases for the significance and importance of religion in our civilization and culture. The fact that you